welcome to another RSR, which is Manchester City 4, Fluminense FC 0 in the FIFA Club World Cup 2023 final, the finale of RSR5. We'll talk about the match. I'll say my thank yous for the year, and we'll have the best of reel at the end of this. This is a finale blowout, of course, in more ways than one. But Manchester City are your world champions for 2023. Well-deserved. Amazing win over Fluminense. And they just absolutely ran roughshod. They should have won by more than 4-0. It should have been like 5, 6, 7. Whatever you want is whatever you get. It should have been like 5 or 6 or 7. But with that being said, goals were scored as follows. In the first minute, Nathan Ake takes a banger of a shot, pops off the post. Julian Alvarez runs onto it and chests it in. Flops like a fish to finish off the chest in to make it 1-0. Then in the 27th minute, Phil Foden takes a shot. It deflects off the foot of Nino for an own goal to make it 2-0 Man City. That's the way we go into half, 2-0. Man City dominating. They should have scored more than 2. It should have been 3 or 4-0 at the half. They end up making it 4-0 at the end. Should end up being 6 or 7. 72nd minute, Phil Foden. Ball crossed in by Julian Alvarez. Phil Foden slides and turns the ball into the net to make it 3-0. Then Julian Alvarez in the 88th minute dances past a defender, bangs the ball in past Fabio to bookend the game and bookend the tournament and bookend the year to make it 4-0 Manchester City. And it would end at full time, 4-0 Manchester City. And there you go. Full-time stats are as follows. 15 shots to 5, 8 shots on goal to 2, 54% possession to 46% possession, 530 passes to 443, 91% pass accuracy to 90, 11 fouls, 13, 3 offside to 3, 0 yellow cards to 3, 0 red cards to 0, and 4 corners to 2. Man City dominated. I don't know what else you want me to say. Man City should have won this game 5, 6, or 7-0. 4-0 wasn't enough. They had a lot of the possession. They had a lot of the forward play, a lot of the passes. Fluminense did not have an answer. Fluminense, again, Fernando Diniz is fraudulent. The man is absolutely fraudulent. He is a joke. He is not a good manager. He is not this new, brand new king, anointed. No, Pep Guardiola just ruined his career and just burnt it to ash. Because let me tell you, Fernando Diniz is an absolute joke. And Fluminense are a joke. They didn't even want to win. They got scored on the first minute. They gave up. They just played the rest of the 89 minutes out. Luckily, there was no stoppage time. Plus the 3 minutes. Well, there was 3 minutes in the first half. They had to play 93 minutes. They didn't want to play anymore. I can tell you, they didn't want to play anymore. Fluminense looked like an absolute joke of a team. To say as much of they didn't care once they got scored on, because in the end, they just couldn't care. They could care less. They didn't care after they got scored on, because they knew they weren't coming back. Like, they just knew after how the semifinal went against Al Ali and they got lucky to win. They were like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like the way this is going. Okay, we're done. And then Man City scored 3 more. I'm surprised it didn't end up being, again, 5 or 6-0 with the way Fluminense completely just gave up as that game ended. Or as that game started, I should say. It should have been a complete disaster. I gotta say, I mean, 4-0 is not good enough for Fluminense. But I can say this, I'll give them the credit that for a while it didn't look like it was going to turn into a complete disaster when it should have, with the way the game started. Manchester City, again, bit unlucky, so to speak. Bit unlucky to only win 4-0. Again, 5, 6, 7. Manchester City were just the better team. They're the best team in the world. Deservedly so. They played like the best team in the world. They played like they wanted it more. They played like the Man City who were unstoppable. Not the Man City who, well, you could easily say the way they play in the league right now, they ain't the unstoppable Man City. They are human, but tonight, they turned back the clock back to when they were unstoppable. And also in the semifinal as well. Again, it's lower level opposition to them. I get it. They have an amazing squad of players. No De Bruyne, no Haaland. And they still absolutely win at the level they need to win. Rodri at least played. And they still won. Hell, they put on some of their bigger boys in the second half, and they still won. That wasn't the biggest boys. And they still won. So, again, Man City were absolutely ready to win this game. They wanted this more. So much better. So much better than the other players. And Fluminense, they never had an answer. They never did. They never had an answer. They never had a care. This game was over. Over and done with. In the end. It was over and done with. In the first minute. Like, you could see Fluminense were just, they didn't have an answer. They were scared. They were never, and I mean ever, going to look as good as you would want them to, or as the people believe Denise would have looked, or wanted them to look. So, again, Man City did exactly what they needed to do. Exactly. But a deserved win for Man City because they were just the better team by far. Rodri, amazing. Sucks he went off with injury, but it is what it is. Julian Alvarez with 2 goals, I'm not surprised. World Cup champion and a Club World Cup champion. He just keeps winning, doesn't he? Should we ask the question if Alvarez is better than Haaland? I say maybe we should. I say maybe we should, you know? Ask the question. I say we maybe should ask the question if Alvarez is better than Haaland. Especially in finals. But with that being said, Man City deservedly won. They were just the way better team. The way better team. No question. And that's that. So, with that being said, I ain't got much to say about this game. Man City did exactly what they needed to do. Fluminense never had a chance. Denise is a fraud. Pep Guardiola ended his career. And once the Seleção stint is over, and there you go. Man City deservedly are the world champions. So, now that that's out of the way, congratulations to Man City, commiserations to Fluminense, and congratulations to Al Ali on winning the 3rd place match, and commiserations to Urawa losing the 3rd place match. With that being said, that's it for reviewing and talking about football for this year. There you go. So, now that that's done, thank yous. Thank y'all. Thank all of you for watching this year. Y'all helped make this year as amazing as it was, because we've had some really good times this year. This has been the best year of the channel. Better than 2021. Because that was the best year up until now. All the numbers of this year beat out the past 2 years. Best year of the channel. 2023, we're on the right track, I would have to say. And again, we've put in a lot of work. I think I deserve, and we deserve to be on the right track. And when you work hard, the world smiles down on you in the end. And again, I have to thank all y'all for that, because y'all choose to follow along and y'all choose to see what I have to say. Even though I'm normally right, y'all choose what I have. Y'all choose to enjoy what I have to say and hear what I have to say. And when it's right, it's right. When it's wrong, it's wrong. But it normally isn't wrong. But sometimes, the predictions. Yeah, my predictions this year normally, number-wise, have not been that good, I gotta say. But weird. Like, if I added them all together, the numbers, I don't know, questionable. But again, it's a thank you to all of you for being along for the ride, sticking, either coming in and joining the roller coaster or sticking around, and I'm really thankful for the people who've been here since day one, who've been here for a very long time and they've stuck around. And I'm also very thankful for the people who've joined the ride, but of course, there's a little bit more of an affinity to the people who have been around for a very long time and stuck around. And I think that only makes sense, I would hope. But of course, that, like, an intermediate class, I guess, at some point, the people who've joined and jumped on the bandwagon, the roller coaster, hopefully the more recent people end up becoming the intermediate class of this channel with the OGs, I would hope. It's kind of like one of those, but I get it. But if you're part of that, hopefully soon to be intermediate class, I'm very much thankful for you as well. And it's been an amazing year. It's been an amazing year on this channel. It's been an amazing year for me personally. I think 2023, I had no expectations going in. I'm like, I'm just going to do what I need to do. When I came into 2023, I'm like, I ain't going to say if this is going to be the best year. I ain't going to say this is going to be a crap year. I ain't making no predictions. I'm just going to do what I had to do. I guess that's how you handle it. You don't say something's going to be the best year ever, because when you do, it doesn't really end well. It's like you put yourself into a position of, yeah, you cursed yourself. So no, I'm not going to say 2024 will be my best year yet either. I'm going to say I'm just like this year. I'm going to say I'm going to do what I need to do and go from there. Because that's the better way to do it. Because, listen, this year I was like, we're going to do what we need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do and let the chips fall where they may. Well, damn it, this was the best year. This just was the best year. 2023 was a year that is amazing. And I'm so happy about that. And I'm not going to predict 2024 because I've learned that if I predict and say 2024 BYE, or will be the BYE, gonna curse me. So I'm just gonna say the same thing I did this year. I'm gonna do what I need to do and let the chips fall where they may, because it worked this year. We'll see if it works again. With that being said, thank you. I'm happy. I'm content. And that's what it is. 2023 was amazing. And it wouldn't have just been amazing. Of course, the work I put in, yes, but because of y'all. It's nothing. The work that I put in is nothing without y'all and the growth. Because if it's just me, can you hear a tree if it falls down in the woods and nobody's there to hear it? Does a tree make a sound when it falls down in the woods and nobody's there to hear it? No, it doesn't. So, that's the point, Just because the work's put in doesn't mean it's going to do what it needs. But with that being said, that's how I feel. Happy and content. So thank you for that. That's a great thing. So with that being said, now that that's done, the best of reel is up next. Hopefully you enjoyed the best of reel, and we take a look back at some of the memories, the funny memories, the great memories, the cool times, the happy times of 2023 from this season of RSR. And there's a lot, 30 minutes. This will be like a 45, 50-minute video because of the review and thank yous. But again, deservedly so. It's a finale anyway. With that being said, that's amazing. So hopefully you enjoyed the best of reel. I will see you tomorrow for the top 50 songs countdown list. We'll stream that at 9:30, so we still have that. But of course, Watch a Match Season 3 is over. RSR5 is over once I kick over. Well, I guess not till the best of reel's over, but me speaking on this season is over until, right. So, then of course we have the best of reel of Watch a Match on Christmas Day as my present to you, and it will be out, don't worry. But, there you go. So hopefully you enjoy the best of reel. Hopefully you enjoy that walk down memory lane, and there you go. Man City, congratulations on being world champions. Commiserations to Fluminense. And I'll see you in the new year for RSR6. Just like I'll see you in the new year for Watch a Match Season 4. Of course, I'll see you tomorrow for that top 50 songs. Then, of course, the best of reels throughout the rest of December, Christmas Day, and then New Year's for the standalone RSR5 best of reel. Because you know we'll do that. So with that being said, I'll see you in the new year. Have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year. And again, thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you later. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Enjoy the reel. Do I even need to talk about it before I start with this? TCU, welcome to the National Championship Casino, where you can only win titles in blood diamonds. Blood diamonds. Because you definitely followed the rules of National Championship Casino. Because you go to casino, spend all your money, watch all your money disappear. You went all in just to win the Fiesta Bowl. And then once you got to the National Championship, you played more nervous than somebody going on their first hunting trip. My word. Y'all, every time you spun a slot, it went up bar, bar, bar. Every time Georgia spun, it came up 777. Hell, we could talk about y'all got lapped. Y'all won qualifying, Georgia didn't. Or y'all won qualifying one, they won qualifying two. But you were way more dominant in your qualifier. But you have the real race and you get lapped by 5 laps when it really mattered. That's what happened to y'all, TCU. You got pasted. People are going to be like, yeah, Phil Neville, talented manager, unlike his brother. As long as he doesn't lose 8-2 to frickin' Seattle or something, I mean, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Yeah, it was. I think I'm actually giving Gary Neville more credit for the Valencia loss. The tribe has spoken. The Spanos is, you suck as owners, and your franchise must be deleted. The tribe has spoken. It's time to go. Or how about they pissed themselves, but they didn't crap themselves? Let's put it like that. They could have easily diarrheaed their own underwear in this game for the world to see. To a Saudi All-Star team. Not even a Saudi All-Star team, a Riyadh All-Star team. Al Hilal and Al Nasir. Josh Allen. And Tony Romo calling him the alien. All I could think of was the Toy Story aliens. Ooh, the claw. Yeah, that's all I can think of. But there are times you feel that a game feels like it's gone 4 or 5 hours instead of 2 or 3. Or sometimes it feels like the game's gone an hour. or less. Like it's the feeling. Sometimes games look like they're high-paced and feel like they've gone by in a flash. This felt like it went by meticulously, like it was just dragging on and dragging on. Now, and you normally would think the fact that I've been watching mostly in January, mostly watching college football and hockey, and that's what I watched on this channel, you would think, this game's going to feel quicker because it always has. No, it didn't. Now, the Riyadh PSG game felt pretty quick, but out of a game that mattered, this did not feel quick. And it should have, with what I've been really covering recently in the slow moment, it should have been like, yeah, this feels really quick. So that just gives another indictment to this game on the fact that if it didn't feel quick after I've basically just been covering NFL and hockey and college football for the past month because it's all slow and that's basically what I can do this month, if that's what happens, you played so meticulously that you basically wanted to make people just go to sleep. Seriously. Here come the Chiefs. Isaiah Pacheco, 1-yard touchdown run, 21-24, makes the lead 3 for the Eagles. The great touchdown robber, the great touchdown scorer, Isaiah Pacheco. Win this game at once, makes the 1-yard touchdown run. Try to make a delocated joke there. If you know, you know. And if you don't, well, look up Igor Pachenko, delocated. You'll thank me later. Hilarious. But that midfield is just Swiss cheese. That midfield is soft. That midfield is just soft. It's S-A-W-F-T, soft. And if I had a dime for every time they cost us a game, I'd have way more than 2 dimes. I'd probably have 20. Over the past year and a half, or over the past half year and tonight, I'd probably have 20. Or again, we could use the reverse card metaphor because that's exactly what happened. Olympia gets a 4-1 lead at home and you think, this is over. They could score a goal. They're Olympia. They could score a goal no matter what. And then Atlas plays that reverse card, sets it down, slaps him over the head with it and says, no, you ain't. No, you ain't. We're scoring 4. We're scoring 3. We're sending you home. We're going to do what Austin can't because guess what? Austin FC, and yeah, I'll comment on other games, another similar moment. Austin came back home after a horrible defeat in the first leg and probably more embarrassing. They didn't have a reverse card. They didn't have a green reverse card in their hand. Atlas did have a red one, though. And I guess the number on the... For some reason, the number on the table was 2 in red, and they said, nope, we're playing this. Boom. It was a first half from hell that put them into a hole. They played possum and then ended up in a bowling bag in somebody's trunk. What does that mean? They played possum just to end up dead. Year after year, they had no soul. They had no passion. They wilted at the first sign of pushback. But what did they do this year? The grit finally came off on them. The sandpaper finally worked. They got balls. Cojones. They found a way. How crazy is that? They found a way to win. For the first time in God knows since frickin' Bush was president and Harper wasn't even PM yet, no? No, I don't think so. I think it was still a liberal government. Seriously, that's how long this has been. 3 prime ministers and 4 presidents. Bush wasn't even into his second term yet. That's how long this has been. I'll bring it up. I don't care. Bush was still generally liked when the last time the Leafs won a playoff series. I don't think people really started hating him until Hurricane Katrina, yeah? I don't think so. That's just what I remember, though. And Canadian Bush wasn't even in office yet. I mean, Stephen Harper. The world has changed. The Leafs, they've been in the doldrums for way too long. That's my point. They've been in the doldrums for way too long. The only man back let Sean Johnson get nutmegged by Bobby Wood. Bobby Wood. Bobby bleeping Wood. Luckily, it wasn't Josie. That would be worse. I'd be off a wall. But Bobby Wood. This isn't 2013. Bobby Wood. Sean Johnson got nutmegged, but that's Rosted's fault for getting overpressed. They were playing with fire for about 5 minutes there. They finally got burnt. What are we doing? And then you got Bill Manning allowing this clown show to go on because he damn well knows if he brings down the hammer on Bradley, he's next. He's been buttering himself up and getting through walls, person by person by person. He is not getting the heat that he deserves. He should be gone too. But no, he butters himself up and gets himself through the railings and says, not my circus, gets out of it. Curtis gets thrown under the bus. Armas gets thrown under the bus. Perez gets railroaded. He was better than Bradley, by the way. I said that on the weekend. He got railroaded. Bob Bradley's probably about to get frickin' sent on a frickin' ship back to Egypt, and not a cruise ship. I mean a frickin' shipping vessel sent back by top men. And Bill Manning is still going to slide. Like, this isn't his clown show. This isn't his. It's not his fault. He won a cup. No, it's your fault. It's your fault too, Dr. Evil. It's your fault too. My boy, you need to go too. Bernadeschi again, off at the 60th minute. Bob, Bacala, what are you doing? Pezzo de merda vaffanculo. Pezzo de merda vaffanculo. What are you doing? What are you doing? For Jordan Faria, and I'm not cutting on him. It was his senior debut. He's okay for TFC2, but hey McFly, he's not better than Federico Bernadeschi, and we have nothing, and I mean nothing to play for on Tuesday. You see that cross? Nothing! Or Wednesday. So why take out Federico? He would be fine on Saturday. What? You're afraid of injury luck? You didn't care till now. Seems like you actually don't care, considering keeping Federico in might have saved your job. Or are you so sure you're not going to lose your damn job that you just took him out anyway? Did you get assured of something? Do you know something we don't? Because that is disrespectful. If you know something we don't, and that's why you took off Federico, you better frickin' spill it right now. There's nothing to play for on Wednesday. I said Tuesday, I was pissed off. Wednesday, nothing to play for. You could have kept him in. You took him off with 1 minute left on Wednesday this past week. You take him off at the 60th. He didn't have to come off. Oh, he almost played 2 full games. Okay. He didn't have to play Wednesday. He would have had a full week of rest. He's a professional. He can play 3 games in a week. They're trying to make Fetty look like the evil guy when in reality, the villain in the eyes of the big boys is actually the good guy and the victim is actually the bad guy. I think they got this wrong. It's like Vince McMahon booking Roman Reigns to be in the main event of WrestleMania for 5 straight years before he turned heel. Nobody wants this. Only you do, you senile prick. And that senile prick being MLSE and Bill Manning. And honestly, Bob Bradley, because he's honestly fighting for himself. But you get my point. You let them stay alive way too long. They got even more alive. Then they sat up like The Undertaker. And then they chokeslammed your ass to hell. That's what happened. You choked. You bottled. You bottled this game. And all they're going to think about is 23 Chivas. Like 98 Braves. Because did you deserve to win this league? Were you the favorite? Yeah. And you choked. Well, there you go. 23 Chivas, that's the new song. It ain't 98 Braves no more. Hey, maybe I did it to him wearing that Braves jersey. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. Goes to Arriaga. Arriaga gets a good goal out of it. And I'm not surprised. I like Arriaga. I always thought he was a damn good player, even when he was at Marathon. I thought he was a good player. I was sounding the alarm for him. Back then, I said he should come to TFC. I said that, point blank period, 2020 CONCACAF League. I said it when Arriaga was playing for Marathon. And he was one of them that I had an eye on. And, well, guess what? He's in MLS now. And he's good. I knew it. I knew it. My eyes don't lie. My eyes don't lie. Trust me, my eyes don't lie. With that being said, though, I got to give it to Kervin Arriaga for scoring that goal. With that being said, Leon finally got what they wanted. They finally went from chokers to champions. And I know how Leon fans feel because, well, I mean, I've made the joke that Leon is the Toronto Maple Leafs of CONCACAF. I'm making fun of my own hockey team to make fun of Leon in that situation because they choke incessantly in Champions League. They win the league, but they choke incessantly when it really matters, in my book. Not now, no. Just like the Leafs won a round, finally won a round, and I loved it. I felt amazingly happy. I cried tears of joy. Even on camera, I couldn't help it. Leon fans feel the same way because they won what they wanted. Yes, it's cool to win Clausura and Aperturas and get to the final because that's how you get here, at least for the recent part of time. Now you could do good enough in Liga MX, which they did not, or win Leagues Cup. They could do that. They still can. Or at least get top 3. They could do that. They're not out of it just yet to defend their title. We'll see, though. But with that being said, Leon, I know how their fans feel. They are over the moon right now. They've been heartbroken so many times that it finally goes their way. And they actually won a trophy. Let's remind, they actually won a trophy. This is like if the Leafs won the Stanley Cup. Leafs couldn't do that. They just won a damn round, and I was over the moon. So Leon fans are probably even more over the moon than I was when the Leafs won a round and stopped choking. I mean, there you go. Straight up. Like, Leon legitimately deserves this. They have been soldiering through heartbreak and winning their league, but not being that CONCACAF team they wanted to be. They've been looking for this for years. They lost to Chris bleeping Armas and Bob Bradley. Bobby bleeping Bacala. Again, I hate both their guts. I hate both their guts. And they somehow... both, of course, Bradley with LAFC, Armas with Toronto FC. Used TFC too, it still somehow won. I don't get it. I think this will make sense. I have to say it. Why am I throwing the big gold over my shoulder? Because like Seth Rollins, I hate football. Odio il calcio. Seriously. Them man were picking Chicoria out there. That's all they were doing. And diving. You could easily say, I used to be a footballer like you, but then I took a stud to the knee. That's exactly what they were doing. And who knows if they took a stud. A couple of times they did. The goalkeeper did. I think somebody else on the outfield did. Of the outfield players did. Took a stud to the knee. But, again, this game was horrible. Italian football is getting owned left and right center right now. Roma lose to Sevilla. Fiorentina lose to West Ham. Inter lose to Man City, which I sort of respect that one, but they kind of did it to themselves too. And then Italy, the Azzurri, the U20 Azzurri, lose to Uruguay. And you damn well know that the main Azzurri are going to lose something in the Nations League, whether that be to Spain or whether that be to Croatia / the Netherlands. Or they lose both the semifinal and third place match. Remember, there's one of those. I hate football right now. Odio il calcio. I feel like Seth Rollins when he's watching a Bears game. This is hell. By the way, this jersey, I feel like it's cursed. I feel like it's cursed. I need a new Italy jersey. I do like the away kit, though. That was the best thing about Italy tonight, was their away kit. And I can tell you one thing. Buc-ee's is not worth the hassle. I can tell you that much. And just imagine how much worse it would have been had it been in Texas. And I feel like a footballer who just got drenched. Because it's raining like a freaking mug out there. So if he fires Bob, he is in the shit. He is done. If it ain't anybody worth a damn and they don't turn this thing around in 15 matches and win the Leagues Cup or get into Champions Cup, he's done. And he knows it. And that's why he keeps driving this sinking ship. He's like the guy off Titanic saying, I'm dressed in my evening's finest and intend to go down with a ship. But I would like a brandy. That's him. And he's endangering everybody else. Their seasons, their livelihoods, their careers, because he wants one guy to come out on top. And that's Bill Manning. Because he can make the decision. It's at his doorstep. He signs that P45 for Bob Bradley. You want to know. He signs that P45, he's as good as gone. Unless there's somebody who could turn this around. I hate to say it, but I told you I wouldn't talk myself into having Canada win this tournament. I couldn't do it with the roster they have. I couldn't do it with the roster Jamaica has. Callahan did not look like the golden child that he did in Vegas. And I was leading me to say that that's why you always cash out when you beat the house. Even though Berhalter would have been worse for the USA, you always cash out when you beat the house. Turns out, he still won one of his bets. Even though he lost a lot of his money. Legitimately, it can't be worse. You could put a freaking broom in net and it wouldn't be worse. You could put one of those tackling sleds in net and it wouldn't be worse. Legitimately. I'm not saying he's the whole reason we lost this match, but it doesn't help when your team doesn't perform and your goalkeeper is acting like a freaking fool. Is acting the fool. Or any of these matches, to be honest. Especially this one. He was the whole reason we lost to RSL. I'd say he was the whole reason we lost to Cincinnati. Slightly the reason we lost to New England. The slight, but more the reason we lost here. But the team didn't even put him on his back. Or didn't even put them on their back. You would think a goal that he allows puts a battery in this team's back. What are you doing? They don't care. Is he that bad? That this team is like, oh, well, we allowed a goal. They're on us like wad on rice. This fool allowed a goal. We're done. We don't care. That must have been the thought process. But even then, before they allowed a goal, they looked like crap. They were on us like wad on rice. So, did they just not give a shit tonight? Did they just not care? Marón. Vaffanculo de merda. Mavafa Napoli. Jesus Lord. Oh, Edu, don't you know what that's worth? Kai Havertz couldn't score a point. No joke, he couldn't. I had to there. Dude, I expected better from Kai Havertz. I've seen him play better than that. I've seen him have some better finishing product than that. I don't know what the hell that was. I didn't think the crosses were too bad. He just couldn't finish. He put on a seminar in midfield. They couldn't touch him. And the one time they did, guess what? It made them lose the game anyway. Wow. Like, I'm blown away. Messi, he was worth price of admission and more. And I wasn't even there. Just imagine if you were in Miami when that stadium probably registered on the Richter scale after he scored that free kick. I don't care if he stunk up the joint. That would have been worth the price of admission, let alone the fact he put on a midfield symphony. Plus that free kick. He should have scored 2 goals. Messi should have ripped them to shreds. I mean, he almost did, but it should have been more obvious, you know? So, again, that was the first time we saw VAR used in the Leagues Cup. And I can't believe that's why they used it. I just wonder which part of Rotlost paid the refs. Was it the DirecTVos? Was it the fan base? Was it the players? Was it somebody who don't like New York? Was it? I don't know what it was. That was the most undeserving 3 points I think I've ever seen the Golden Boot over there last year. But he's still a tronco at heart. Look at what he does with El Tri. Now he has a player that won't make him like that for a Medica, which might just make it worse. But if Quinones plays for El Tri as well, if he gets naturalized, ooh. So before I end, I got a little bit of a song to sing about the end of this season to wave goodbye to the Toronto FC ship of hope, so to speak. The good days have come and passed. The trophy gleam will never last. Wake me up when the season ends. Like the cup has come and passed. 6 years have gone so fast. Wake me up when the season ends. No dusty finish, as far as I could tell, but Vince Russo definitely booked this with how many swerves this game had. It was full of swerves. I mean, Miami scores 1. They go down. They keep going down. They get 1 back. They go down back 2. Messi scores an own goal, or sets up an own goal to be scored, scores a free kick, 5 minutes to go, which really was 9 minutes to go with, or 11, 5 plus 5 is 10, so 11 minutes to go with the extra time, stoppage time to be played. I mean, then 4 minutes later in the 56th minute, Justin Glad is hearing the song Jigglypuff, Jigglypuff. He falls asleep, passes the ball right into the path of a pressing Denny Mwanga. Denny Mwanga dispossesses Justin Glad and top bins it against Zach McMath to make it 2-0 in 4 minutes. Get a brace in 4 minutes for Denny Mwanga. You don't let him have that easy chance. It's 2-0. Tano Ortiz finally chokes in a knockout game. It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. Doesn't seem like the horseshoe is still up your ass now, isn't it? The plot armor finally falls apart. I can't believe I just saw it. To Nashville, of all teams. To Nashville. The plot armor of international competition falls apart. To Nashville. Nashville. Man, they're a tough-ass team. If that's the case, they're a tough-ass team. Not tough enough to beat Miami, but still. But I would bet $50, like my good man Jose. Nobody thought that this result was going to happen. Nobody thought Nashville was going to win this match. I would bet I would bet that everybody thought Rayados was going to win this one. I would bet so. 50 sounds like a good bet, right? I don't know about you, but I don't suffer fools lightly, and the way they played this game was foolish. And it makes me want to call Trinidad and Tobago this. And before we do it, I need a paper pop, because if we're going to make a college football reference, we got to go do the good old Josh Pate paper pop. So, paper pop. Listen. Trinidad and Tobago are CONCACAF's Appalachian state. Ever since that fateful night in Cuba, where they beat the USA to make sure the USA wouldn't go to Russia, Trinidad and Tobago have been a team that have beaten mid-level teams in CONCACAF with regularity and made the big boys have fits. Trinidad and Tobago aren't some garden variety minnow. And they didn't even need all these dual nationals to do it. No. They had their local team. They had a C team come in tonight to El Salvador and beat El Salvador. You cannot say, here's the problem. If you say Trinidad and Tobago are getting rolled by El Salvador or by Jamaica or by Canada or by the USA, you're wrong. They're not getting rolled. They may lose in the end. They're not getting rolled, but they won tonight. That's like Appalachian State. Look at what they did to Michigan when they were in the FCS. All right? That's like Cuba. That was the world, them saying to the world, we're here. We're here. Better get used to it. And ever since, they've had some really big moments. Trinidad's had some big moments. Appalachian State's had some big moments. This may be like that Texas A&M game last year. Point being, unlike college football, you can't control who you schedule. So you can't say, don't schedule Trinidad and Tobago. No, you got to play them. And when you play them, Lord have mercy in heaven. You ain't going to walk out of there all fresh and spiffy. No, you're going to walk out of there with your skin ripped out of your back. And it wasn't. This was a flop. This was like a movie where people are like, oh, this is Oscar worthy. I'm like, that probably tells me it's going to be crap, but I'll watch it. And then you come to find out it's crap. Yeah. This freaking federation just freaking kneecapped us, and Herdman's like, you know what? I'm going to Tanya Harding y'all. You already got kneecapped in one knee. I'm going to go Tanya Harding you in the other. Okay. John Herdman went galooly on us. He did. When we already had one kneecap already taken out, he takes the baton and says, I'm going to get the other. Boom! Went galooly on us. You try to talk them down before you scratch them. Just like a horse race. They don't want to get in the gate, you got to give them a chance. If they don't want to get in the gate, you can't talk them down, you scratch them. They don't race. You make a change. You should have done that. It's good advice, honestly. The Brotherhood's still alive. Biello got by not changing much. He learned from Zach Arnett. You don't change much when a big personality leaves the room. You got to keep things similar. Mauro Biello at least was smart enough to keep things similar. He may not be a good coach, but he kept things similar. And it paid off, at least for the first leg, but I'm sure it'll probably pay off for the second leg as well, because it would suck that they lost in Toronto but won on the road. That was not a pen, and I will say that to the day I die. Not a pen. No era penal! No era penal! No era penal! Pinche FIFA! Pinche CONCACAF! No era penal! No era penal! No era penal! It wasn't a pen. It wasn't a penalty. Que chingue su madre, árbitros de CONCACAF. Que chingue su madre. No era penal. No era penal. Ma vaffanculo. Che cazzo fai? What's it with me with a suit and putting the coke on? I thought they were going to show the freaking trophy lift. Because I did this for MLS Cup last year. Do you mind? Really? It is what it is. The RSR, sponsored by Coca-Cola. Not really, but pay me. Denise Ismo. Really? You're kidding me. You are absolutely kidding me. This man is ruining his career in real time. And people are deluded enough to think he's not. The Brazilian, the Seleção stint, yeah, nobody's going to touch him. The Seleção makes him look like a plumb fool. And then this game, the Denisismo, the freaking Fluminense, the Flusal, think he's some sort of god. But no. You know what Denise you got tonight? The Seleção Denise. You are delusional. You are absolutely delusional. Like, this is like freaking Diego Alonso at Boca. Diego Alonso was the next big thing. Or no? Marcelo Gallardo was at River a lot longer. Diego Alonso. Point being is Diego Alonso is a fraud too. Denise is at the same level of Diego Alonso. He was at Uruguay the whole time. Diego Alonso was Miami and Uruguay, but he was, I could have sworn he was at Boca before. It was Schelotto then Alonso, right? Something like that. I feel like that was the case, but even though Diego Alonso and Denise are one and the same. They are two fraudulent managers that people thought were the truth from South America. Turns out, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They got their balls in a pouch. Marcelo's got Denise's balls in a pouch. And I can't believe Fluminense won. They got lucky. Denise's balls were in a pouch held by Marcelo. Simple. Simple.